Hey there, Toyota owners. So I am going to make my very first video on a problem that is common for the years 2014 to 2020 Toyota Tundras. So when you're driving down the road, you have your fog lights on and you notice that they are vibrating up and down. Kind of annoying. So there is a fix to it that I'm going to show you. There is many that are on YouTube, some decent. The one that I watched, they use this fix with zip ties, and it works really well, but I found a better way to use the zip ties to fix this problem, because there's this housing, this plastic housing that actually holds the light in place. There's three different pieces. There's this plastic piece, there's the actual light, and then there's the housing that holds the light, which I will show you when we take it apart. As you can see, it's really loose in there, and I'll go over to the other side that I actually fixed, and there is no movement at all. So and I didn't have to replace the bulb. The one video I watched, the guy said that you can put shims and you'll see between the housing and the actual bulb. I didn't do that. I will show you a fix so that you don't have to spend more money to buy this when you don't really need to. Thanks to the Toyota engineers, they went a little cheap on this housing and the lighting fixture. So without further ado, so you're gonna want to turn your wheel outward, and what you're gonna have to do is remove this bolt here and this bolt here, and then back in the wheel well, you're gonna want to pop this out right here. This is just a, it's like a Christmas tree clip type thing. You just use the tool and pop that out. And then underneath here, should be another 10 millimeter there. One more 10 millimeter right there. And you do not need to remove this one. This is the inner of these two right here. There's one right here and one right here. You leave this one, remove this one. This is either a 12. My other side was a 14 for some reason. I think they had removed it. Somebody had removed it at some point. Easy to remove. And then this whole cover right here will rotate down. These two metal clips will pop off of the bumper, and this piece will be removed. So these are the tools I have. Got needle nose, wire snips, Phillips and regular screwdriver. Got my 10. Got a 14 and a 12, and then a good variety of zip ties. You're gonna need them. Easy job. Let's go ahead and remove this. You just come up really easy with the 10. I know, they make tools that remove these easier, but I don't have one. pop that front clip out a little bit, and boom, it falls up. Easy peasy. All right. Then we go underneath here, and like I stated in my earlier, move this 10 here. Keep track of them. There's one more 10 right back here. There we go. And then now we just have this 12 to remove. Alright, move that screw. There's not a whole lot that holds these things in place. It's kind of ridiculous. You would think they could do better. Pull that screw out. Set it aside. Then I just reach in here with a screwdriver and pop this piece of plastic that's holding it in. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of a pain, but not too bad, I guess. The other side wasn't bad anyway. Oop. Well, it's kind of a little more of a pain. Just gotta push that tab in. Yeah. And lose it down behind there. Man, lucky my hands are huge. Oh, there we go. And this should just come right out now. Look at that. Two things holding that in place. Kind of ridiculous. So then we're just gonna remove the harness. It's just to pinch that and pull it off. I hope you can still see what I'm seeing. So as you can see, this is the housing that attaches to that plastic piece on the inside here. Pull this up real quick here. So that's loose. So we have to fix that. Totally ridiculous. So that's loose. And then this isn't the best video to, like, as far as like quality, but you know what? Showing everybody the problem here. This is really loose in this housing too. Let me set up the phone so I can. You shouldn't be able to do that. The reason why this is it's losing its friction to be held in this plastic piece here. And I'm thinking the reason that it's kind of loose like that is so that you can adjust this, but we need to throw some zip ties on there so this doesn't vibrate up and down when you're driving, because that's no good. Yeah, this is to adjust the height when you're driving. So the fix I came up with is take a couple zip ties, these are bigger zip ties, put it around the, so the light sits in there like this, okay? that plastic piece that's on the bumper right here, well, there's enough gap here, so I think it only goes up into here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this zip tie, I'm gonna run it around this entire thing. So the other video that I saw showed that you either replace this bulb so that it so that you can fix that the friction problem. So I believe you'd replace this entire thing. But why do that when it's going to happen again? It's just going to wear out. Because engineers aren't going to make better parts. They're going to sell you the same exact part at Toyota. So we're just running a zip tie around this, and we're going to tighten this so that it doesn't have that play anymore like that. It's going to be solid. Along with the other zip ties that we're going to use in the housing, we're going to be able to keep this nice and solid. Look at that. It's already better. I'm going to tighten these up pretty tight. It's like rivets that attach the bulb to the housing so that you can, again, adjust the bulb up and down for driving. So just gonna clip that off. Look at that. Better than factory. These guys are ridiculous. We shouldn't have to do this. But we do. So, hit my head. All right. So now that that is fixed, we're going to throw it back in there. Man, I need something to hold my phone a little bit better than, I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing when I'm down there. Oofta. Anyway, gotta put it back in the hole. So when you put it back in this housing back in here, these two pieces have to go fit in two spots, right there and right there. You will see it when you're doing it. They just slide in there, and then the whole thing just kind of goes in there, and then you're gonna screw it into there. Easy peasy, right? But first, I have to try and get a good angle with this. There we go. God bless you. Thank you. So, just gonna hold it in place there. Oh, this is hard to do with one hand. I need a phone holder. And put that in place there. Okay, it's kind of in there. This is fun. So it took a lot of zip ties on the other side to get that right. There we go, that's pretty tight. So, see, it's still loose, but on here, the light bulb isn't loose anymore. It's because we threw that zip tie on there. This is a 14-minute video. Well, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna plug this thing back in. So I don't worry about that anymore. Okay, so this is the tough part. So I'm gonna run a couple zip ties in there and in between here, not on those plastic clips that were on here. There's a couple gaps back in there that we're gonna avoid the plastic clips that were on this housing for the bulb. We're gonna attach, hope you can see us, but this plastic piece here that those two pieces slid into, there's a couple gaps in there, and that's gonna attach to that outside housing that's right here. This piece right here. This piece right here. So it's gonna pull this whole thing back in there. It's just gonna hold it tight, because that's what we want. We want this whole thing to stop moving around, right? Okay, because once we get that in place, it's gonna be solid. So I'm gonna pause you and come right back to you so that you can see what the zip ties look like. All right, so I got the zip ties put on. So that we're gonna throw a zip tie thing. I was trying to zoom for you. There's gonna be a zip tie in here. So there was an eyelet right there. So you can put one in there, okay? And then one in the top one too. That holds this housing right here to the housing that goes to the outside on the bumper. And then you're gonna want to run one more zip tie through that spacing that I was telling you about earlier from that housing, which holds that housing on the outside of the bumper. It's gonna pull it backward and taut, and you're gonna run it through here. Pull this pretty tight. It doesn't have to be like super tight because it's plastic. It will always have some play to it. And then you're gonna come over here to this side, and you know that screw you put in here to hold the one screw that holds this thing to that outer housing that is on the bumper. You're gonna run another zip tie behind that screw, and there's a little space behind here. You're gonna run it down and through there, and then up and around this metal piece here, and you're gonna zip tie it to this bracket here. I'm gonna go ahead and clip all these zip ties, and look at this. There's obviously a little bit of play, but you're gonna have that on any part in your truck. There's gonna be play. That's just the name of the game, I guess. But if you look on the outside here, remember earlier when I was pushing on this thing was like moving everywhere. It's not anymore. It's nice and solid. So next time this happens, remove this piece, and if you need to, replace your zip ties. Thanks, Toyota engineers. You guys suck. That was fun. God bless you guys and gals. Good luck on this. It's not that hard of a fix. It's just annoying. Who wants wiggly lights? It's a safety issue. Pretty easy fix though. I did the same thing to the driver's side. You just turn your wheel out and take some stuff apart, add some zip ties, and call it